Hello, hello. Hey, how are you? I'm doing pretty good. Just got done doing some coaching calls a couple hours ago. Been doing email coaching. How is everyone? Hi from Holland. Wow, I love that everyone is coming in. Okay, so hopefully the music is not too loud. Why do I feel like I'm lagging? If I'm lagging, please let me know. I don't look like I'm lagging on my screen, but it might be different for you. Um, okay. Okay. So today, what I mainly wanted to talk about is like this fear people have about the physical world. People have almost like this fear regarding their manifestations or the things that they're seeing or like things that they're hearing in the 3D. And I always get this question, um, like, what do I do or how do I deal with um, the physical world? And to that, I always say, like, there's nothing to fear. When you understand the law objectively, you understand you create everything. So if you create everything, just be honest with yourself. I feel like a lot of what manifesting is being introspective and having that honest conversation with yourself and realizing that, okay, I created this, I made this happen some way, somehow. I'm not going to judge myself for it. But again, if I understood that I'm creating everything, you also understand you can change it. So I never really understood this fear with manifesting because, again, the more you dwell on fear, the more you perpetuate it. So I like to tell people just be honest with yourself. Yeah, tell yourself you created it. Okay, so what? I created it. There's no issue here because I can make something else happen. Same way that this appeared because I had an assumption or I had a story in place is the same way I can create another story. Remember, you have a new moment every nanosecond that passes by. So why would you waste those moments recreating an old story when you can just choose a new one? And that's, I guess, what differentiates someone who understands the law versus someone who is just, for a lack of a better word, a lazy reactor. I always tell my clients, let's work on not being lazy reactors, right? Because reacting is accepting. What you're really reacting to is not necessarily the story itself that's happening. You're reacting to a decision that you already are perceiving when you're coming into contact with this thing that's in front of you. Because if you know that you already changed the situation to be a something that's more preferable, there would be no worry, there would be no anxiety, there would be no, and I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong per se if those things do come up, right? You're not doing anything wrong because we're still human, we're still people, we still have emotions or whatever. But what I am saying is you get to a point where the spiral is less and less and less, right? I'm at the point now where like my spirals last like 20 seconds because then my understanding of the law objectively comes in and I'm like, oh wait, why am I worried? Like I can literally just change this or I can just choose another story. It's not that, I'm beating myself up for having those 20 seconds of like, oh my god, what's happening? it's understanding that, okay, I had that moment, but I can change it. Can I not change it? It's a new moment. I never run out of opportunities to choose something new in this new moment. So get rid of the fear. Like, I want you guys to be people who can manifest regardless of what's happening. That way, you're stepping truly in what it means to be a conscious creator. You're not at the mercy of a 3D circumstance. You're not at the mercy of someone saying something. You're not at the mercy of, I don't want to hang out with this group of people because every time I'm around them, they just remind me that SP's with the third party. Okay, who cares? You already chose your story. They're no longer together. You reframe it in your mind, whatever you have to do, even if you hear people in the physical world say something that goes against the story you chose, you're not affected. You're not shivering in your boots because you think that what they're saying has more weight to a decision that you have made, right? That's giving your power away. There's nothing ever to be afraid of. You see or hear something you don't like, cool, doesn't matter. You've already chosen your story, so why are you reacting to it? Again, reacting is accepting. So if you truly know you changed it, what's the point? Hello, hello. Yeah, whatever you're seeing, it's just you. It just has to deal with a story you have in place that you chose. But again, I like to tell people sometimes just use what you're seeing as data. That way you kind of already precisely know what thoughts are sort of relative to what's happening. And it's not even about going back in time and trying to do all this shadow work to find what affirmation or what story created this. I don't believe in that. Like, again, I always tell people that's a waste of my time. I'm not doing the shadow work to find out what assumption created this. It's about creating a new story right now. What story are you making up right this moment? Because all you have is the now moment. There's nothing ever to fix because it's a new moment. If we're playing Uno and I get called out for a false play or a false call and then I have to pick up a card, right? But then all of a sudden a new player joins in and the people who I was currently playing with all decide collectively that we're starting a new game. In this new game of Uno that we're playing, I'm not expected to pick up a card for my mistake for the last game that I did, right? It's a new game. It's a new environment, right? So don't go out of your way to try and fix something. Just choose a new story. It's not this big grand burst of like energy. It takes so little. It's just a slight shift in awareness. That's it. Hello, hello. I deal with anxiety and this constant fear of being judged or failing. So the real final step for me is fully getting that other people are basically just me pushed out. Basically, and that's something else I kind of want to talk about, right? This idea of failing. You cannot fail, okay? As annoying as that may sound, or as confusing as that may sound, also, you can't fail because again, from a very objective point of view, the law is not a being. It has no morality system attached to it. It has no perception of good or bad. That would be your perception. So, how or what deems as something a failure to the law? According to who exactly? Remember, it's not a being, it's not judging you. This is also the same reason why you don't have to put in all this effort or all this work to manifest your desires because you're not being rewarded for anything. It's your assumptions create your reality. That's it. Not the effort, not all this efforting that you're doing, not all this affirming for 10 hours a day. If you like to do that, amazing. I love that for you. Don't get me wrong. If you're someone who likes using methods, use them. I personally don't care. Understand, though, what it is that you're doing at the end of the day. So, going back to what I was saying before I went on a tangent, you're not failing to manifest. Remember, there are no rules. There's no rules to manifesting other than a story that you're choosing. There are no rules. You can't fail to manifest. Its existence is neutral. The law of assumptions existence is just neutral. Something being a failure would just be your perception, or would be a wrong story to you. Not in general, not to the law, but to you would be the wrong story, right? Because if you're trying to manifest an SP, but you keep entertaining a third party, you're choosing the wrong story for you. For you though, not for the law, because the law sees everything as equal. You have every aspect of a story available to you at this moment, so there's no wrong or right. How do you fortify your knowing? It's simply just an understanding of the law. That's it. It's not that I'm doing anything specifically different. It's not that I have some information that's different from the information that I'm giving you guys, or I'm reading some top secret book. It literally just stems from my understanding on how the law works. You come first in every aspect. And when I cushion my fall with my objective view, understanding of the law, it's almost like I wake up and I'm not like searching for something, or searching for a new method, or searching for what this person has to say in this video, or searching for what XYZ is saying on Twitter. Like, no. Even if I see people on Twitter or even on here give a success story with a new method, I'm not rushing after their post to see what it is that they did to get the result. I know that at the end of the day, the fundamentals remain true. Your assumptions create a reality. If someone comes out with a new method and it worked for them, my understanding objectively of the law is it worked because they assumed it would. You came first. Okay, no one has a secret potion or a magic spell or anything that's gonna change the rules. How can I manifest a text or a phone call from a person that I met only once in the past? It's like affirmations don't bring any result. Okay, that's why. Because you keep assuming that affirmations are not working. So you have to be proven right. Remember, there is no right or wrong way to manifest. The only thing is your assumptions create. That's it. However you want to go about it after you learn that information is quote unquote the right thing to do. So how would you manifest a text? By being someone who has the text. That's it. And a lot of my answers are going to be sort of similar or teetering along the same response, because that's how objective I need you guys to be with the law. That's how neutral the law is. I'm not just going to change how the law works because you have a different situation, right? It's the same thing. You just apply the fundamentals and apply nuance to your circumstance. Who was the first coach that you watched, and how did you find out about the law? I want to say the very first time I found out about the law was in college. I was in a psychology class, and my professor, she put on The Secret, like the movie. She put on The Secret during class. But during that time, I didn't really care for it, because during that time, for those of you who don't know, my entryway into spirituality came through witchcraft. So before I started manifesting, before I knew what that really was, I was someone who was practicing. And then years later, I found manifestation. Well, I found the law of attraction. Very quickly did not connect with the law of attraction, and then stumbled upon Neville, read his books, understood the consensus, started to watch videos of people here and there, but when I came out, there, like, to understand manifestation, or when I was on the scene of understanding manifestation, there wasn't that many coaches. I feel like one of the very few coaches I remember was Roxy Talks. Do you guys remember her? I love her, by the way. Roxy Talks. I don't watch her channel anymore. But yeah, Roxy Talks. Uh, there was this. Is she Arab? Her name was Jasmine. Manifesting Quick with Jasmine or something like that. Um, then Create Your Future. Just like the OGs, like the OGs of manifesting. What do you think of manifesting by a certain time? Not like a time crunch, but more so I would like to do this weekend kind of thing. That story is available to you. You can do it. Remember, there are no inherent delays. The law doesn't care about anyone, so it's rushing after you 24/7. So if you want to experience something by the weekend, then cool. Remember, every aspect of a story is available, whether it happens today, tomorrow, next week, next month. That story exists, so you're the one that's free to choose it. How to stop myself from putting other people in power position instead of myself? I would say learn more about the law, because when you understand that the law is truly just customizable to how your perception is, you won't really care for how other people think. Does that make sense? Like, I have a client, I love her, but every time, for example, every time she goes on Twitter and someone else is raving about a new method or a technique, she um, automatically feels like what they're doing is working and what she's doing is not. And I'm like, why? Remember, the law, there is no right or wrong way to manifest. It's just whatever you assume to be true is true. Maybe that technique that someone is using feels right to them. And so they placeboed themselves, because let's get into it. What people are actually doing is they're placeboing themselves into getting their desires, because they think that because I did this thing, because I did this method, now I'm allowed to have my manifestation. Now the law is going to reward me. The law is not rewarding you with anything, first of all. You're just funneling your desires through a placebo because it makes you feel comfortable. Either because you want to apply how society has taught you about how things work in the world, and now you're applying that to manifesting, and that made you feel amazing, and that's why now when you do sats, a method, drinking water, that's why your technique is working. But again, even then you're just deciding. You're deciding that this technique is going to work. And so that's why it happens. I want to manifest being financially independent and rich, but I don't understand how that's going to happen without me taking action, and I don't know which action to take since I don't want a regular job. So I always tell people, like, you're not the law of assumption. You are just the creator, right? Whenever you make an assumption, you have to be proven right. It's not necessarily up to you how that's going to happen. I mean, you can control how that's going to happen, but for the most part, I don't even really worry about that, because I know that it's done for me. So if I know that I don't have to put in an extra step to effort, I'm not going to do it. And literally every manifestation I've ever had, I've never necessarily sought out for it to happen in a certain way. And it's worked out amazingly. Um, and then you ask, I don't understand how that's going to happen without me taking action, and I don't know which action to take. Okay, so now the part about inspired action. So you don't necessarily have to know how it's going to happen. If you have to participate in any way, the law will move you to do it, and you won't even think twice about it. So that's what's called inspired action. Some people get confused about, like, how do I know I'm doing inspired action? Well, you don't necessarily know. It's going to seem like the most randomest urge, the most like normal mundane urge to you, like you'll be sitting in bed playing video games or whatever, watching a movie, and then randomly you'll get the urge to go get ice cream. Mind you, a couple days later, you affirmed how you want to meet this person you haven't talked to in 3 years. So you're at home playing video games, you're watching a movie, you suddenly get the urge, I want to get ice cream. I don't know why, I just want to get ice cream. And then while you're at the ice cream parlor, you find that person that you were manifesting, and then it transpired. That's and that's why a lot of people have a hard time believing in manifestation, because they chuck it up to coincidence and it just seems like something was going to happen anyways. But again, the law pulls from infinite resources, so it knows how to get things to happen in a very easy way from, the route of least resistance. By the way, guys, I am doing coaching. If you guys want coaching, if you guys need coaching, I also, one of my clients for the manifest for me spots, one of them manifested a lot earlier than anticipated. So I do have one more spot if anyone, I don't know, cares for that, or if you guys just want to do coaching. I'm open for coaching or the manifest for me. I have one spot available. Uh, if you want to do the manifest for me, email me at conjuredrealm@gmail.com. But if you want coaching, you can go straight to my website at conjuredrealm.com and book there. Y'all, like, what's honestly playing? Hold on. I'm sorry. I wish we could play, like, music. By the way, if you guys don't know, FKA Twigs, she just recently released a new album called Afterglow, and I need it in my veins. I'm manifesting my SP for more than a year now. Nothing happened. Feeling tired, discouraged. We are in no contact for 3 years. Sometimes it feels it's not going to happen as we are separated for too long. Okay, so what's happening here is you're drawing feedback from a past memory, and you're assuming that in this new moment, that's going to happen again. And so the law, working perfectly fine, is replicating more situations where not only you feel that way, but you come across that exact storyline. So understand the law from a very objective point of view. Remember, you don't have to impress the law, you don't have to do anything. The law's not hurting you, it's not harming you, it's not even working in your favor or against you. Its existence is neutral, like I said. It's just existing. Lean into its objectiveness so you can take your emotions out of it and understand that nothing is happening to you. Your reality is happening through you. So the reason why this is happening is because you are consistently perpetuating a story. The law is just doing its job. It's just existing through the story that you have in place. So you can't fault it for doing its story. You have to show up for yourself, whether that is regulating your nervous system, taking some time to feel those emotions so you can come back and to think objectively, and choose a story that benefits you. You're welcome. If I wanted to manifest my dream man, can I just say that I am dating the man of my dreams? I keep contradicting myself and saying I met him finally. I mean, if I'm in a relationship, then why am I also meeting him? I think. So, how you manifest also doesn't matter. Remember, there are no rules. It's just whatever it implies to you. So if you're affirming that you're meeting him, but in your mind that implies that, oh, this means I'm going to meet the right person, the perfect person, then that's fine. Remember, no one is judging you, no one is hearing you, no one is critiquing how you're affirming. That would be just you. That would just be you. That's why I always tell people, don't get stuck on the small details, right? Because it doesn't matter. There's no one here judging you. If you want to say that you're going to meet him, but it implies that it's going to happen regardless, then use that. Like, don't stress yourself out for the minute details. The law is neutral, the law is objective. It doesn't care how you affirm, how you manifest. If you visualize all day, if you visualize for 2 seconds, it doesn't care, right? What matters is what that implies to you. So I can't give you a black or white answer because there is none. It's whatever you say. But just know that the only thing you do have to worry about is choosing the story that you guys will eventually meet. And you can put that in however way you feel comfortable with. How do you know your subconscious has been impressed? And what if you are not having dreams about your manifestation? Okay, I don't associate or even connect anymore with the whole your subconscious has to impress before you manifest, because the law doesn't care about that. It's a natural phenomenon. It's working whether my subconscious is impressed or not. It doesn't care about any of that, right? Because I'm looking at it from a very neutral lens. Why would the law stop working? Something that I'm subjected to. Why would it stop working because something is not impressed in my subconscious? Like that doesn't make sense. That kind of contradicts the whole like objective natural phenomenon that's happening 24/7. Like it's waiting on me to impress my subconscious before something can happen. Like no. And that's kind of like the same thing how I feel about when people are like, I have to affirm all day or else it's not going to manifest. Okay, so you think manifestation is something that you're doing sometimes, and not only that, you think that the law only is working after you use a method. But what about everyone else that's manifesting right now? Sorry. Hello, hello. Oh, glad to have you. I am stuck. My ex didn't get manifested back for the third time, and a new person didn't show up despite me affirming since a year that I'm in a happy relationship. Is it because of my ex manifesting? Okay, so it has nothing to do with your ex. It more so has everything to do with you. So, what expectations do you have in place? Why are you expecting for it not to work out? That's what's manifesting, right? Having, you're probably drawing feedback from a past moment that you're perpetuating in the now, which is why you're getting proven right, right? So, um, that's what's happening. So be honest with yourself. Yeah, I'm expecting this to happen. Yeah, I'm scared that it might not manifest because I tried it in the past and it's not happening and it didn't happen. Be honest with yourself, okay? Cool. It's a new moment. I can choose a story right now. And my understanding of the law is once I choose my story, I have to be proven right. Okay, think objectively. No one is holding anything from you. You are. You have a story in place that's causing this to happen. And also, by the way, guys, just another like tip. If you're assuming that something's not going to happen by a certain date, like let's say you're manifesting an SP, but you want it to happen by Christmas, but you're worried, I don't know if it's going to happen by Christmas. That's you. If you're saying you're not going to have it by Christmas, you're telling me right now that you don't have it right now. Okay? Because right now is the only moment. I'm going to answer one more question, guys, because I do have coaching with someone else soon. And I want to prepare for that. Nice eyebrows, thank you. Is higher self always supporting our desires? If you think so. For me, my understanding of the law, although I know this is a um, spiritual law, my journey has become less spiritual and more of an understanding of how this mechanism operates from a very like objective standpoint. So although many people do have a way of perceiving the law from a very spiritual and aligned and like emotional standpoint, and I'm not saying that's wrong because there is no wrong or right. For me, that's not my experience anymore because I already know what's happening at hand. So yeah, that's my opinion. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this live with me. If you guys again want coaching, head over to my site conjuredrealm.com. And yeah, book coaching with me. I have open availability. But anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day and happy manifesting. All right, guys.